giving money to countries that don't need it. They have plenty of money. And we ended that. That was so important, $10 billion. Think of it. It continues the closure of USAID and creates a brand new America First Opportunity Fund for responsibly providing foreign assistance to nations where it actually serves American interests. So we have nations that do help us and it serves our interests, so we have something to help them out with.
Trump
this bill
meeting.
also cuts funding to
This
abusive
just
and
dropped,
weaponized
like, 5 minutes
IRS
ago.
programs. I was a victim
That's
of that.
why we're so late.
You probably read that. Did you read that recently, right? Sure. That was, I guess, the ultimate
This
victim.
market just dropped.
That were used to harass American taxpayers. It builds on the Republican rescissions package passed last summer, which saved Americans billions and billions of dollars. It fully funds our military, includes a well-deserved pay raise for all American service members, and makes historic investments in the American shipbuilding industry.
America
which
First
is
isn't
great.
a weekly
We're
or
really
monthly,
starting to
right?
do something incredible with shipbuilding. And I don't know if you saw that the United States of America, for the first time in over 30 years, beat Japan. We love Japan, great country, but their power in steel making, that we produce more steel this year than Japan. Think of that, more steel than Japan.
I have virtually no
Japan is a
positions except
powerhouse.
just making some
And we
Biden
were
yes in the
pretty
60s.
much dead when it came to steel.
Oh, dead?
So what do you think of that? To me, when I heard that, we did
He
more
just
than
said dead.
Japan. It continues to fund
This could be pretty long. I mean, it's
deportation flights
50s.
that are removing dangerous illegal aliens from our country. It continues historically successful efforts to reduce crime in our nation's capital. We have a very safe city right now. We have a city that is like a different world from what it was a year and a half ago, when you couldn't walk down a street without being hurt very badly. I want to say that in a nice way.
This is the bill to end the
Washington,
shutdown.
D.C. is a safe city. Memphis,
Government
by the way,
shutdown.
crime is down 77%. And in New Orleans, I don't know if you heard these numbers, but in New Orleans, we started 4 weeks ago, max.
People actually
And crime is
filling
down 68%. It's going to
no ICE National Guard at 13 cents.
be down to practically nothing within the next month. Pretty amazing. But it all helped cut the number of murders in D.C. by 80%. And we have numbers
Since this
coming
was
up.
such a flash
Newer
market,
numbers were down
liquidity is so
97%
dry.
in murders. It's a horrible thing to even be talking about, murders in D.C. But a lot of people were being killed in Washington, D.C., if you can believe it. And now we have a very safe, I don't know if there's any such thing as crime-free,
Yeah, they
but
just
pretty
created it.
close in January compared to 12 months ago. So we have close to 95% down
It's
crime
like a flash
in
market.
Washington, D.C. It allows all of you people to walk to the White House instead of getting into an Uber and getting mugged even as the Uber progresses, okay? And it continues
This market
funding for
literally
the
dropped,
Department of Homeland Security
5 minutes
until
ago.
later in the year. And finally, I am extremely pleased to announce that this bill includes a newly designated, oh wow, movie star, Melania Trump, Foster Youth to Independence Initiative. So she really loves the children. And she's had a tremendous success. So
I got
it's the
first
number one
clicks on the
documentary
Melanias.
in 19 years. Can you believe this?
Wow.
What do
Did
I
you see
get
that?
out of it?
I got first click on the Melania weeklies. We'll take
Now
it.
I had a top bottle. Now I have a
Someone's
top
not
movie star.
watching this. I mean, that's
But we have
only
a great first lady. She
$80.
loves children, and she had a tremendous vote on this. And
But yeah, I
wanted to
got the
just,
Melania
say,
click.
Melania
That was
Trump
me.
Foster Youth to Independence Initiative within the Department of Housing and Urban Development, which will support America's foster youth and provide them critical resources as they age out of the foster care system. And the First Lady loves children, and
I'm kind of debating that, Cockapoo.
she's been very much involved with children and helping them out and making them better. That's what she wants to do. Wants to help them.
I feel like I'm learning politics more, but I don't trade politics enough.
And her movie got.
I'm gonna
really
do
incredible reviews. She's done it. We're all proud of her. Actually,
I'll cover this a little
Not
bit
easy
when
to do
Trump
that.
kind of
Not
stops
easy to
yapping
do
as
it.
much.
So
but,
I just want to thank everybody for being here. If you would have some questions, I might just ask before you do that. These are all outstanding politicians. The top.
Wait,
my
he's
opinion,
doing
the top
questions?
in the whole world. But that's one of those things. I'd like to build it up a little bit, but they are. They're the top politicians. They're the top political minds. And if you have any statement, does anybody have a statement that you'd like?
All right, so
Maybe
now
we'll
that
start on
Trump's
the
done
left side.
yapping, what I will say,
Buddy, how about Mr.
I'm
Speaker?
trying to learn
Well,
politics
this is a big
more.
thing, Mr. President. Thank you for your leadership and helping us steward this.
Today,
through.
I
For a
was
long
gonna
time, we wanted to
do,
get back to regular order in the appropriations process, and you're standing up here with the
like
best appropriators in the business and
stream
and
on
and we forced the muscle
more
memory back,
news-oriented
getting back to
with
that
the
regular
markets
order
this week.
process. 12 separate appropriations bills.
I'll
We've
probably
got
push
your
it to
desk, and
tomorrow
this
now
is
that
a
Trump
big
did
thing.
this
It seems
flash
like a small
meeting.
but it's a big
But I do want to
we're
get more
spending
into politics,
less money year
and I
over
do
year
think it
for all the
obviously
innovations
helps
and things
hearing
you said there. This is
Trump
good for the
talk,
country,
but
and
at
America
the
is
same
back.
time,
The
I don't know too much, you know.
Right slope.
Like,
Is it
I didn't
over
know
that?
enough
You
to
just
have
came
like a
out,
position on the
America is
shutdown.
back. Look, CNN's thrilled. Look at her. She's never smiles.
We already said fake news this week.
I never see her smile. Someday I'll see her smile.
Mr. President,
Yes.
could I mention that there's significant health care reform in this bill,
Good.
PBM reform, something that you have been working on, and we appreciate and applaud your efforts. Bringing drug prices down for citizens here in America. Not only that, but we extended telehealth, and also we are addressing maternal mortality in this bill. Rural health care has been a big part of your focus, and we appreciate that.
Thank
Mr.
you very
President.
much. Thank you, buddy. A very big thing, I think, for all of us is most favored nations on drug pricing.
Oh man, he's going back to
So
favored
for
nations.
30 years they've been talking about it, more than that. And it's basically we now will take prescription drugs will come down to the lowest price anywhere in the world. So if a country is selling a pill for $10 and we're selling it for $130, which is not much of an exaggeration at all.
Democrats got
We were paying
unbonded.
the highest drug prices
I
anywhere
suspect
in
he's
the world.
already
Now we'll
said
be
it,
paying
but I don't know.
tied with the lowest price. It's most favored nations. We will have
I assume
the
he's already
lowest
said it, 'cause
price
someone was bonding
anywhere
this
in the world.
before.
So a pill that was for $130 will be down to $20. So you can make a case that that's 800, 900%, or like the press likes to hear, it's about 80%. But we're going to get reductions like nobody's ever seen. And frankly, the Republican Party should be able to win the midterms on that. And that's the biggest thing there is. Most favored nations, we're going to be bringing the price of drugs down. In my first term, I got it down 1/8 of 1%, and I was so proud because it's the first time in 28 years that drug
We're
prices
missing
came
Carnate,
down.
or we're missing.
And now we're
Chipotle
talking
earnings call
about
now.
bringing it down by 80, 90, 75, 68. I mean, I have numbers in the back that nobody can believe. Most favored nations. And remember, the Republicans did that. The Democrats did not do that. Republicans did it.
Democrats.
And
right
that's
there.
going to have a huge impact also on health care because medicine, I mean, it's a big chunk of health care. And if you're bringing
Kinda
something
getting
down
first
from
click here.
$100 down to $20, $18, because we were subsidizing the entire world.
Wow, crypto Bitcoin.
And
what are
frankly,
these
I had to get the
prices?
countries to go along with it, and I had to threaten
In the
tariffs
80s
against
still?
them if they didn't approve. And the healthcare companies, who weren't easy
Tariff.
either, but they said it doesn't matter because they'll never get the countries. Because they didn't really want to do it.
Someone beat me there.
And I got the countries. I got every one of them. And really, people can't even believe it. But for the people standing behind me, if you use that alone, we should win the elections coming up. Anybody else? How about on this side?
You mentioned the IRS,
please.
Mr. President.
Go ahead.
Their behavior has been atrocious. If you think about
IRS
leaking
question.
your tax returns, the tax returns of others, and never any accountability. I must have questioned Janet Yellen 4 times, 5 times under oath about this, and never an answer. We stripped $10 billion from the IRS in this bill that you just signed. And today, I launched an investigation with my staff on all of these contractors that are associated with the ones that allowed your information to be put out. These contractors that hire activists to come in and do their work. These corporations here in America that bring activists in to do their work. That's going to come to an end.
They did leak my tax returns. It was terrible. The good news is I paid a hell of a lot of tax. I paid tens of millions of dollars. I said, where are my accountants? I want to talk to my accountants. So, but they did. They leaked my tax return. They didn't do it in a nice way. They tried to get something out of it. No, they're bad people.
Accountability's coming, though. You think about the phone companies that leaked our telephone records, several of us here.
Right.
Verizon leaked my telephone records, you think about what's happened across the country. This is going to come to an end.
And we should have voter ID, by the way. We should have a lot of the things that I think everybody wants to see. Who would not want voter ID?
All right, I'm going to
Only
put a bid
somebody
up for
that wants to
crypto.
cheat. Think of it.
The spreads are
Yeah,
insane because
voter
the
ID.
market just launched. Because this was just announced. This is
And
like
the
a
Democrats
sudden.
don't want it. And the reason they
Trump
don't want
meeting.
it because they want to cheat. Because there's no reason in the world, and I love that debate, Lindsay. I love saying, well, why don't you want voter ID? And you watch them say, I don't know, I just
Make
can't.
them vote.
No, it's a terrible thing. So anyway, anybody
Skipping
else?
rigged
Mr. President,
elections.
you said you wanted to make America safer and more prosperous,
Right.
and we have done it. More prosperity means more money in people's pockets, and they notice that every time they go to fill up with gas, and they're going to know it when they get their tax returns that this year are going to be at
This
least
could be
$1,000, if not
affordability.
more, greater than it's been in the past, and that's a result of the work that you've done with this whole group. And in terms of America being safer, a number of us were at the border 2 weeks ago. The border is secure. No one is coming across, not the 10,000 we saw every day with Joe Biden. And the American people still in overwhelming numbers, Republicans, Democrats, and independents all say illegal
has
immigrant
to be
criminals
border, right?
need to be deported. And Mr. President, you're doing that.
And no tax on tips.
No tax on Social
Social
Security,
No tax on
more money
Think
in
of it.
people's
He's got to talk
pockets.
order.
Think of it. And that was all the great big beautiful bill, as I call it, the great big beautiful bill. To me, that's what it is. And people are starting to realize it now. They're starting to see it.
They're gonna
And
see it in their
a
pockets.
tax deduction on if you buy a car, if
Wow,
it's made in
he's gonna
America. Only if
dodge
it's made in
affordability
America.
here.
The rest we don't care about so much. But
He's
you buy a
dodging.
car, you get an interest deduction. You borrow money, you
Order.
get an interest tax deduction.
This is bizarre.
That is, you take interest, you deduct it against your tax. So, to me, that's unbelievable for the people, unbelievable for our car companies, which is jobs. Anybody else on there?
Mr. President,
Wow,
the
has
biggest part of
touched
this
there.
is our national security.
Right.
And thank you. The men and women who serve this country are grateful to you. We give them a pay raise. We're building more ships, as you said, planes.
Does not
missiles.
say border after
We
asked
need to defend
directly
this
about
country, and
it.
You're doing a great job in leading us in the right direction.
Thank you very much. Katie, go ahead. You were going to say something?
Yeah, no, Mr. President, this is just
This is crazy.
unprecedented leadership. The fact that
Say
you got
Biden,
everyone
bro.
to come together and actually get these bills across the finish line. You heard it from the speaker, but that hasn't happened in a long time. So 96% of the government being funded. Your priorities put in place, Mr. President, so that we can make the country safer, we can make it more prosperous. And not only do we make America great again, but we can tell people now America is back.
Yeah, it's a great, we'll never forget MAGA, and we're all with MAGA, but I thought this was very appropriate, right?
Love it.
Right?
Is he rapping?
Cindy Hyde, come on, say something.
Okay,
Well,
so
there's a little hospital in here, a rural hospital in Maple, Mississippi,
Right?
called Franklin County
He's
Hospital.
not saying
It would
much.
have
This
closed
is
the end of
bizarre.
this month without this bill. Thank you from everybody in Mississippi, especially Franklin County.
And we've covered the rural very well. Nobody ever thought it was
Oh, I'm
possible.
getting
Because
no
we had a lot of
crypto pieces.
opposition from the Democrats, as you know, but nobody thought it was possible. That's great. How about it? Anybody back there? Tom?
Best place
Oh, Tom Homan? Or who's?
for Native Americans ever.
No, it's not Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate that help.
So we'll sign it, and if you would have some questions of anybody up here.
Let me just piggyback, this rural America is taken care of in this bill. And I
He's
mean,
going to go to the press,
as,
so there's
as Cindy
a
said,
lot of
so
opportunity
thank
for
you
words
all
to
America,
kind
but
of hit here.
especially rural America.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So I probably won't hold this up, and I think holding up one little page doesn't do it justice. In there, it's a lot of stuff, but it's signed. Thank you.
Are people still buying crypto? Yes?
Thank you. On Iran, are the negotiations still happening this week?
Yeah.
Where will they be? And what
Iran
year?
question?
All over, but they are negotiating. They'd like to do something, and we'll see if something is going to be done. They had a chance to do something a while ago, and it didn't work out, and we did Midnight Hammer. I don't think they want that happening again, but they would like to negotiate. We are negotiating with them right now, yes.
Where will where will the meeting be? It seems like
I can't tell you that.
Mr. President,
There's more than one meeting. Yep.
Mr. President, how was your meeting with Gustavo Petro earlier today? And did you come to any
Cuba
agreement
question?
on counter-narcotic efforts?
Yeah, we did. We worked on it, and we got along very well. He and I weren't exactly the best of friends, but I wasn't insulted because I never met him. I didn't know him at all. And we got along very well, and we're working on that. We're working on some other things too, including sanctions. And we had a very good meeting.
So you did an agreement?
I thought he was terrific. He was very good. We got along great.
Mr. President, can you give us any update on how the talks are going for potential changes to the Department of Homeland Security? Have you agreed to any?
Homeland
None.
Security question.
Well, we have a secure border.
Oh, border.
In fact, we have 9 months now where nobody
Damn,
has
I
come
wasn't
into our
covering border.
country illegally. Now, I don't know if I
idiot.
can believe that, because, you go from
Should have tried to.
25 million people to nobody, but the Democrats do that. They're leaning left, the people that do that report. And for 9 months, they have said nobody has come into it. It is a strong, great border. We do have people coming into our country, but they're all coming in legally. You take a look at that and look at what was going on a year and a half ago on our border, where criminals were coming in.
Oh, this has to be
drug
Biden.
dealers were coming in. People from mental institutions were coming in. The worst, they say the worst. I don't even know if I like the term, but the worst of the worst was coming into our country.
Is he going to
And
dodge
now,
it?
we have virtually no. Our country is. It's beautiful to see. Even if you go down, some of you, I think, were down there a couple of weeks ago, and you couldn't believe it, right? Because
Wow,
you were
he's
there
weaving
2
Biden.
years ago,
10,000 a day.
and 10,000 a day. Now you didn't even see anybody. Nobody comes up. We're saving lives because nobody comes up. They have to come through the jungles, and they're dying of all sorts of problems, including murder. And
Murder.
we have nobody coming in, and we're getting people out. That we have 11,888 murderers who came into our country. We're getting them out. We're getting them out fast. And the only place where there's a little bit of a problem, and I will tell you this: Minnesota, their crime because of us, because we've taken out thousands of criminals.
Oh, there's Minnesota.
Their crime is down, not because of anybody else. It's because of us. Their crime is down. But all over the country, wherever we're involved, we're getting criminals out of our country, and the crime rate now is the lowest it's been since 1900. That's 125 years, and that's despite the fact with an open border stupid policy.
Can't believe border was so cheap.
25 million
Should've-
people, in my opinion, came into our country, and many of those people should not have been allowed to come into our country.
On Ukraine, Mr. President.
All right, he's really weaving ICE. I kind of takered some. Try to get more.
Overnight, those attacks have started up.
I
Like-
know. It was Sunday. It was Sunday to
He's
Sunday.
not saying ICE right there. Let's see if I can
It
get more
opened up,
fills.
and he hit him hard last night.
He's still
No,
weaving ICE.
He kept
I mean,
his
we'll
word
see.
on that. It's a lot. 1 week is.
Shit, I'm
We'll
getting
take
jumped.
anything because it's really, really cold over there. But it was on Sunday, and he went from Sunday to Sunday.
Are you disappointed he didn't go further?
Might not.
Yeah, I would like to. I want him to end the war. I spoke to him. I want him to end the war.
Mr. President, what exactly did you mean when you said that you should nationalize elections, and which 15 states are you talking
I
about?
want to see elections be honest, and if a state can't run an election, I think the people behind me should do something about it. Because, if
Is
you
this
think
rigged
about
election?
it, the state is an agent for the federal government in elections. I don't know why the federal government doesn't do them anyway. But when you see some of these states about how horribly they run their elections, what a disgrace it is, I think the federal government, when you see crooked elections, and we had plenty of them, and by the way,
Crooked election?
we had them last time, but go to 2020 and look at the facts that are coming out. Rigged, crooked elections. If we have
Rigged,
areas,
crooked elections?
take a look at
He's
Detroit.
skipping it.
Take a look
Just
at
say
Pennsylvania.
rigged
Take a look
election.
at Philadelphia.
Why is he adding
Take a look at
crooked?
Atlanta. Look at some of the places that horrible corruption on elections, and the federal government should not allow that. The federal government should get involved. These are agents of the federal government to count the votes. If they can't count the votes legally and honestly, then somebody else should take
But the
over.
Constitution says it should be states that administer
Go ahead.
elections, Mr. President.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
can,
the
you know what?
Constitution says.
They can administer the election, but they have to do it honestly.
Are you open
Wow.
to negotiating on warrants when it comes to ICE? This is an ask from
Ah, shit, ICE question.
Senator Schumer.
Meaning,
Requiring search warrants for ICE and immigration officials.
I haven't even thought of it. I'm not thinking about search warrants.
Can I ask something?
Yeah, Lindsey Graham is going to answer that.
No, it makes no sense. If we have to get a search warrant to get
Maybe
15
someone will
million
fill
people
crazy
out,
prices here.
Schumer's telling me he doesn't want them out.
I don't
It's
wanna
the
have
most
too many bids
ridiculous
up.
idea. They do have some good
People filling.
ideas, I think. But I've got a better idea. It's your idea.
Notice Trump is weaving it there.
In
man.
sanctuary cities. On immigration, I know what I'm talking about.
Doesn't
I've got
say
the
ICE
scars
there
to
when
prove it.
directly asked
They're
about
playing,
it.
y'all are
He
playing
hates
like
the word.
Biden didn't exist.
Oh, come on,
y'all
Biden.
won't tell the American people about Lake and
Is
Riley.
Trump really not gonna?
It's a one-sided debate. For 4 years, our border was obliterated. They let them come in by the tens of millions, and they want to go back that way. We're not going. So, Mr. President, stick to your guns. If you got reforms that make ICE better, more professional,
If we can dodge it
talk
here,
to me.
that's
But
big.
you should embrace what I'm suggesting. As long as 12 states have sanctuary policy, they'll keep coming. Unfortunately, you won't be president forever. These magnets of illegal immigration have to go. There is no upside to sanctuary city unless you're a complete radical nut job. The cops hate it, fraud around sanctuary cities, and you're going to get more illegal immigration. We're going to have a debate. I've been trying to solve this problem, but what the Democrats are doing
This is
is
Lindsey
they're not
Graham,
getting
right?
to the underlying
He's
problem.
going all
It's
out.
not Stephen Miller. It's not Chrissy Nome. It's not me. It's not you. It's policies that have been on the books that don't work. So if you want to
Don't
debate
work.
on how to solve this problem, show up next week. I'm going to take President Trump's idea that it's time to end the insane policy of sanctuary cities. We're going to take it to the floor and we're going to vote, and people in November are going to get to see who they trust to keep the border secure. Schumer or Trump? I'm with Trump.
Mr. President. And by the way, I hope you're going to press that very hard. And the other
I think I
thing,
might.
we are not, well, we are with you. I think everybody's with you. It's a sanctuary for criminals. That's who it is. They could make our lives so much easier. All they have to do is
Is he
hand over
dodging?
their criminals. Hand over people that came into our country illegally that are murderers, that came out of jails, that
dodging
came out of
it.
mental
How does he not
institutions, that
say
are
it here?
drug dealers. I can't believe in Minnesota that they want to have murderers walking all over the streets. I just don't believe it. Maybe somebody says it's good politics. I don't think it's good politics. I think it's really bad. The other thing we can't lose sight of is you probably have in Minnesota, and it's worse in some places like California, $19 billion in fraud. And we're going to find out, we're very deep into that investigation, but we're not going to forget that. A lot of people think that a lot of this nonsense that's going on is to try and, hide what's going on with respect to the fraud. They have at least $19 billion. You're hearing 9. Now I'm hearing it's 19, and it's probably much more. So it's they talk about incompetence. I think it's not incompetence. I think it's just pure fraud. These are dishonest people. They're
Talking
bad
about
people.
criminal. I don't even see
think
this
they
as
hate our
strike.
country, and we're going to get to the bottom of it. But don't let this hide the fact that you have tremendous fraud. And if we find the fraud in this country, you'll have a balanced budget without even cutting anything. You'll literally have a balanced budget. Yeah, please.
Wow.
Are you planning to work with President Petro to fight guerrilla groups and terrorist organizations?
Insane
in
weave
Venezuela?
on ICE,
Well, they want
man.
me to
Trump
do
is just
that, and,
continuing
we
it.
will. We're getting along very well in Venezuela with the leadership.
Can I keep filling?
Very, very well. We took
Ooh,
in
people are filling me at
50 million
46.
barrels of oil.
Oh, this is gonna be trillion coming.
So it's right now heading to Houston, and we're getting along very well with them. But we're going to work with them. Yes.
Oh.
You had in your office here Peter Mandelson, the British ambassador. You were shaking hands with him over a trade deal. He's today been forced to resign from the House of Lords, the upper house of the British Parliament,
British
over his
question.
links to Jeffrey Epstein. Just wondered if you had
Oh
any,
my gosh,
any
Epstein
reaction
question.
to that, since obviously
Epstein
he was
question.
I
here
know
before.
about it, but I really don't know too much about it. I know who he is. It's too bad. It's too bad. Speaking of Epstein, I will say
There's
this.
Epstein. Someone was
a
just saying,
reporter
how could he
named
say
Wolf,
Epstein?
And
then he
Epstein
just
conspired.
says
This just
it right
came out
there.
yesterday in the millions of pages of documents.
So
how crazy
funny.
this is. Conspired against me in order to fight like hell to make sure I lose the election. That's the only thing that was mentioned about me.
Someone's now watching and has me beat
Now,
by
about Democrats,
latency.
some really bad stuff. But about me, that Wolf, whoever Wolf is, he wrote a book.
Look,
couple of
I
books.
wouldn't expect Epstein
And
either,
Epstein
but
conspired
he got asked about it
against me.
yesterday
Did
and
you
was
know that,
talking
Mr.
about it
Senator?
in his
Did you know
order.
that? They
I don't know.
conspired
Somebody's
against
been
me,
asking
so I
me a
lose
ton
the
about
election.
Epstein lately.
Or worse. So that takes care of Epstein as far as Trump is concerned. But you got a lot of Democrats out there that are very much involved with Epstein. Epstein. But I'll be honest with you, you got to get back to running the country too.
Did you-
Millions and millions every week. You know, when Epstein was alive, nobody cared about him.
All right, I
He's
sold
dead,
out of
they
my
care about
Biden
him.
position. I
But
don't
it's
know.
really a
This seems
Democrat
like it's kind
problem.
of
It's not a
wrapping a little
Republican,
bit.
it's a Democrat problem.
Maybe he's
The
gonna
only
throw
problem
it in.
Republicans have is that we have to get back
Right in
to
the
number
end.
one, running our country, and then number two, very importantly, letting the public know what a great job we're doing. We have the greatest
gotta-
economy.
Oh,
in
this
the
might be
history of
a
the
hottest pivot.
We have $18 trillion being
Trillion.
spent. The
Damn.
record was $3 trillion many years ago, not by us, by another country. I won't say the country. Yeah, please.
Did you read those new files, Mr. President, that
Have you
came
been
out?
briefed on Savannah Guthrie's mom missing in Arizona?
I think it's terrible.
Would you commit to more federal agents like helping out on the search
Sure,
or
I
anything
would.
like
I'm going to
that?
call her later on. I think it's a terrible thing. I always got along very good with Savannah. Very unusual situation. But we're going to find out.
Have you heard anything?
Yeah, what do you want?
On the Epstein files, you talked about Democrats who were in there. Elon Musk was also in there, and so was your Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and correspondent.
Wow, some of these strikes are getting super cheap,
those new
and
files
this could
that were
technically
published by
drag
the
on.
Department of Justice?
I didn't. I have a lot of things I'm doing. You know, a lot of things, and I don't know.
He's got a lot of
You
things.
mentioned two names.
He's
I'm
not.
sure they're fine. I'm sure they're fine. Otherwise, it would have been major headlines.
A lot of women who are survivors of Epstein's are unhappy with those redactions that came out. Some of them entire witness
Man,
interviews
more
are totally
Epstein
blacked out.
questions.
Do you
Well,
think
they're
that they
also
should be
unhappy
more
with the fact
transparent?
that they thought they released too much. You know, I heard that, and you tell me something else. No, I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else. Really, you know, now that nothing came
Everyone
out about me,
move on from
other than
Epstein.
it was a conspiracy against me, literally by Epstein and other people. But I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
But what would you say to people
like
who feel like they haven't gotten
healthcare,
justice, Mr. President?
something that people care about? Yeah, what did you say? Go ahead,
What would you
CNN.
say to
are
the
so
survivors
bad.
who feel like they haven't gotten
You are
justice?
the worst reporter. No wonder CNN has no ratings because of people like you. You know, she's a young woman. I don't think I've ever seen you smile. I've known you for 10 years. I don't think I've ever seen a smile
Well,
on
I'm
your
asking
face.
you about survivors
You know
of
why?
Jeffrey
You know why
Epstein,
you're not
Mr. President.
smiling? Because you know you're not telling the truth. And you're a very
Dude, he's got
dishonest
some lines.
organization.
He's got bars.
And they should be ashamed of you.
Damn, fake news already hit in the weekly though.
These are survivors of a sexual abuser.
Healthcare, and the bill that was just passed.
Oh,
does
guys,
not
gonna talk about
include your
most
healthcare
favored
savings
nations.
account. So this is a question for you, and maybe for Mr. Speaker.
Can I
as well.
please get
proud
more
of
ICE no
the healthcare
shares?
savings accounts, because it's going to happen.
Please.
And hopefully, instead of
Fake
insurance,
news
and I
already
hope this
hit, right?
happens,
It's
and I
not even
hope
a
you
strike
guys
for
can do
this.
it, let the insurance companies not do quite as well. You know, they're going up 15, 16, 17, 100%. Think of it.
You got no crypto
The
pills
money
at
should
30
be
cents?
paid
Are you kidding? What? You mean 7?
directly to the people. You know, trillions of dollars goes out. The money should go to the people. They should
Jeez,
buy
dude,
their own
man,
health care.
jump
It can
so
be in a
hard on
healthcare,
this.
you
Can I
know,
please
account,
accumulate
savings
some
account,
shares?
any account you want to make. The money should go to the people. The people should buy their own health care, and they're going to save a lot of money,
penny
and
jumped
they're going to have
on
much
ICE
better
now.
health care. And it's very simple. The problem is the Democrats are owned by those insurance companies. They're
Nice.
owned lock,
I got
stock,
some.
and barrel.
Holy cow.
And the Democrats will never vote on it because the Republicans should get that through. And you know how you get it through? The filibuster. Get rid of the filibuster and start voting. Yes.
Mr. President, today we heard that the Clintons set deposition dates to testify before the House Oversight Committee. Any reaction to that related to the Epstein?
I think it's a shame, to be honest.
Dude, these Epstein
I always liked
questions are
him.
crazy.
Her, yeah. Well, yeah, she's a very capable woman. She was better
Very
at debating than some
capable
of the
woman.
other people.
I'm
will
gonna put
tell
up
you
my
that.
bid
She's
to
smarter,
87 on
smart
crypto
woman.
now.
I hate to see it in many ways. I hate to see it. But, you know, then I look at me. They went after me like, you know, they wanted me to go to jail for the rest of my life. Then it turned out I was innocent, very innocent. You know, I had a friend that said, a very smart friend, he's a very wealthy man, knows the life, streetwise guy. He said, you have to be the most honest person anywhere in the world because there's never been anybody who's been examined up and down. You know, I have hundreds of thousands of pages of documents, millions of pages. Millions of pages. With all of that, they found absolutely nothing wrong. Remember his tax returns, all his
Yeah,
tax
he's getting
returns they
so
fought for
many Epstein
years and
questions.
years. And then the Supreme Court, I was surprised. They ruled I had to give my tax returns. I'm the only one that had to ever do that. But I had
He's
to
the
give my tax
only
returns.
one.
I gave my tax returns. They hired the best accounting firms in the world.
The best
They
accounting
found
firms.
nothing. And this friend of mine said, you have to be the most honest person in the world He actually said, you
honest
know,
Trump. That's what he said. He said he's more honest than
I
Abraham
referred
Lincoln.
to him. I'm a
That's
pretty
what he
honest
said.
guy, but I could have never withstood that.
All right, we are jacked on ice now. Let's
They've
hope
gone
this
through
holds.
millions and millions of pages, and here I sit winning an election in a landslide, winning the popular
True.
vote, winning all 7 swing states, winning 86% of the counties in the United States.
All right,
That's
he's
why those
talking about
maps that
the
you see are all
winnings.
red. And so they tried to put me in jail, and I shouldn't feel this way, but I feel badly that they have to go through that. But then I say, but they did far worse than me. They wanted to put me in jail. Think of it. I was a very good president.
They
We had
were
a
gonna
great
put
first
him
term.
in
We
jail.
built the military, biggest tax cuts ever, biggest regulation cuts ever. But, you know, I will say this. I think I can say, what do you think, Lindsay? My second term is blowing my first term away. And my first term was really good.
Reagan plus.
Reagan plus, yeah.
Reagan
No,
plus.
Whatever. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you,
It's
everybody.
over.
Thank you,
It's over.
press.
Wrap, wrap, wrap.
Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Let's go. Start moving. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go. Thank you, press. Thank you, press. Keep moving. Thank you. Thank you, press. Go.
It's over.
Thank you, press. Thank you. Let's go.
All right. That is a wrap for a quick Trump signing. Well, he did dodge Biden. We sold out in the 50s, but we did okay. Oh, I couldn't scoop as many no's as I wanted to, though, on that flip. I tried to get a ton in the 80s. Oh, you had Ice No? Dude, I was trying to load up on Ice No. I'm probably battling you in the freaking order book there. But we'll take it. Came out ahead about 500, mostly just on Ice No, yeah. Look, he got asked directly about ICE National Guard so many times. He has not been explicitly naming them by name. He will say National Guard, but he won't say ICE. And honestly, every single time there's a Trump mention, ICE is priced at like 90 for yes. I should have tried to get more cheaper shares, but it was super illiquid in the beginning, so was happy to pick these up in the 50 to 60s range. Kept going. I'm decently happy with how many shares I got. Yeah, so we made about 500, but you know, there's a little bit of risk with this one, with the fact that this is the shutdown bill, obviously. So they're going to talk about funding DHS, because that was the whole thing holding up the shutdown. Obviously, DHS, ICE sits under DHS. But as soon as he got asked about it directly, and he kind of handed it off to Lindsey Graham, had Schumer no, Autopen no, crypto no, affordable no, China no, cocaine no, 8 war no, mostly in the 50 to 60 range. Damn. Good freaking play. I guess I should have sized up more in the nose. I don't know. This was kind of risky because there was Q&A, how long you would talk. For anyone that was around the last time Trump signed an EO for the shutdown, god damn, dude. Of course fucking Moonlight made 10K on this. He just hit 400K profit. Moonlight is just disgusting. I don't know how he does it. But anyways, yeah, there was a lot of uncertainty. You were loading highest inflation, Schumer, no. I just want ICE National Guard, no. I mean, I guess I should have gone higher. I don't know, Phantom. I mean, maybe he, you know, that 10K might have included some other markets. Maybe he was on Chipotle too. But he just sizes up like crazy. I mean, you could kind of see, like, ICE National Guard, no. Fair value probably should have been 80, especially middle of the speech. And I was still filling at 50 cents for 250 blocks, like, decently fast. So, like, if I had some balls, I could have just kept filling up to, like, maybe 3K shares. But I'm a little wimp. So I just assume Moonlight's willing to size up more. But he probably just got some big plays for, like, earnings calls, things like that, where he could size up before the mention. But, last thing I was going to say was that Trump's last shutdown bill signing was actually like a complete yes sweep. So there was definitely risk in this speech that, like, you know, Trump could just kind of start rambling off. A lot of uncertainty. And the fact that he opened it up to the press, you know, you have to think like he's going to talk a lot, but honestly did not hit much. Yeah, I miss Trump speeches, man. I love Trump speeches. I just feel so good about Trump mentions. I don't know. They're the only mention that I feel great about. I mean, Palantir was fun yesterday because I think Palantir was pretty mispriced. But like Mamdani, I don't know shit about Mamdani. I never feel good on Mamdani. He's just like hard to predict. I guess you could just buy safe yes on everything sub 80 cents and then no on everything else. I don't know. But I like Trump a lot, so it was good to have a surprise Trump mention today. Otherwise, I was having such a boring day. Mamdani always on script, yeah. Mamdani on script, and he kind of leans towards nose. And yeah, and it's just like, Mamdani is just who finds out the topic first, you know? Otherwise, it's, will I do Google earnings? It depends. Is that in the morning tomorrow or is that at night? If it's in the morning, I probably won't do it. But if it's in the afternoon, I'll take a look at it. I don't usually play earnings mentions very big. Like, I prefer Trump mentions, but you know, if there's some good looking earnings mentions, I'll definitely check them out. It's just sometimes they get priced like super efficiently, but sometimes they're crazy. Like I thought Palantir was really wrong yesterday. What am I doing next? I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be dependent. I'll definitely look at earnings calls next, probably. Because earnings call is already on the schedule. We don't know Trump's schedule tomorrow yet. So we'll see. Yeah, so earnings are already booked in the schedule this week. There's a few, and then I guess we'll see tonight what Trump's schedule is tomorrow. Hopefully he does some more open press stuff. I don't know why he closed off the Cuba meeting today. That would have been nice to have a market on. Google is oh, so it's tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, I'll probably do Google then. Howard Lutnick in 10 minutes? I have no idea what Howard Lutnick's going to say, honestly. So I'm just going to avoid that market. I don't have data on Howard Lutnick, and I don't watch him very closely. So I don't think I'd have an edge there. But thank you for tuning in. We're going to wrap here. Stay tuned tomorrow. I'm going to be testing out some new stream formats. I'm going to be trying some more like news focused streams. So like a weekly recap of all these markets, like Shutdown market, Fed chair, talking through everything that went into them. So stay tuned. We're going to have some of those this week. New little format.